So, I'm a used car dealer, and this might sound weird to you, but I want to see the used car market crash and burn. And I just want to get an amen from all the people in the comments that want to see the same thing. So, I get a lot of comments. A lot of people say that I'm an evil car dealer and I'm biased because I report that used car prices aren't crashing right now, which they aren't. They're just coming down slowly, but they're not crashing. But people say that I'm lying about this because I want used car prices to stay elevated, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And there are a lot of dealers like me that agree with me that they want to see the market just take a big flush. And these are dealers who aren't over leveraged in their inventory right now, and they're good at managing their capital. So in this video today, what I want to talk about is why me as a used car dealer, the reasons why I want to see a massive used car market crash. So before we get started, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'm a used car dealer. I want to bring you used car market updates. I want to see a crash. I'm going to be updating you all along the way. I'm going to find ways to save you money when you're buying, selling, repairing a used car. And I'm here to help. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to sign you up for any kind of memberships, anything like that. I am just here to help. So please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and leave us a comment, and let's get into it. So the first reason that I want the used car market to crash is probably the most obvious, is lower prices. We all want them. Consumers want them. Actually, used car dealers want them. I'm not sure how much these new car dealers want them if they're getting the certain prices from manufacturers, but I know for used car prices, for used car dealers who have to buy their cars at these used car auctions, we're paying too much for cars. We know that. We know the prices are too expensive, but if we have to still turn cars, we have to pay whatever they're bringing at the auction to be able to sell them, to be able to still roll money, to be able to still pay our bills. But one of the big reasons why lower prices are better for used car dealers, especially on the lower tier. Now, the cars that I sell cars that are typically $5,000 and under, and the tier that I'm talking about are cars that are $10,000 and under. Especially why we want lower prices is because we have less risk as the prices are lower. So if I have 100 cars and I have an average of $4,000 in these cars, obviously I have a ton of less risk if I have 100 cars and I have an average of $2,000 in all the cars. So that's a big reason for me, is I want to have less exposure and still the same amount of cars that I'm comfortable with carrying on my lot. And less money just means less risk, less exposure. Another reason why the lower prices are better is because they're easier to sell. So a car that's sitting on my lot that's $5,500 is difficult for us to sell right now. And going into a recession, it's going to become even harder to sell. So I want to have cars that are $2,500, $3,500. That's kind of my sweet spot of where we sell cars. So I need prices to drop to be able to get me back into that sweet spot where I like to sell my customer a decent car for $2,500 to $3,500. That the quality is still going to be okay for them, and the car's going to last them a while. And to be able to do that, I need prices to drop so that I can give my customer an affordable car that's going to be easier for me to sell and quicker for me to sell. So I'll be able to turn more, so I can actually make more money as the prices are lower. Two, with the lower prices, I'm going to get way better margins. So you might think as prices go up that I'm going to make more money per car. And in a little bit it does, because you have to charge a little bit more to keep your margins good. But if I buy a car at auction for $1,500, I'm selling it between $2,500 and $3,000. And on the flip side, if I'm buying a car that's way more expensive, like a $4,500 car, to be able to market as a price that my customer's still going to be able to afford, I'm still only marking it up $1,000, $1,500 more than what I paid for it. Because if I go any more than that, it's getting out of a range that my customer can afford it. So I usually make just about the same amount of money on a $4,500 car that I'm buying at auction as I would a $1,500 car that I'm buying at auction. But obviously on the $1,500 car, my margins and my capital go so much farther than they would on the more expensive car. So I need these prices to crash for me, myself, at my used car dealership to make more money. So another reason why I want to see prices just drop significantly is, it might sound weird coming from a used car dealer, but I actually like selling a car to a customer and giving them a good deal. If I can give a great deal to a customer and still make money on my end, then I become that customer's car dealer for life. Not only because I'm giving them a good price, but we have a good experience, and because we're honest to our customers. So if they have a good experience, they get a good deal at my used car lot, I've made a customer for life. And guess what? I don't get their business. I get their family's business. I get their friends' business. I get their extended family's business. Our car dealership, we are small and we thrive on repeat and referrals because we try to make our cars so cheap to be able to get customers into good deals and treat them the way that they need to be treated. And it's becoming so difficult over the last 2 years because prices have been so elevated. We actually had a customer walk in the door yesterday that I heard. He said, "Man, I bought a car from you guys 2 years ago. And I was coming in here and I was looking for a $2,000 car, and we just don't have any right now." I think the cheapest thing we have on our lot right now is like $2,500, and 2 years ago that wasn't the case. I was able to sell cars for $1,500, $2,500 to customers, and I can't do that anymore. I'm ready to get back to that point where I can service this kind of tier of customer, where I can be able to get them in a car where they don't have to have payments and they can get down the road and not have to worry about the car being taken because they own it in full. All right, so the second reason that I want the used car market to crash is because when it does, if it does, what will happen is a lot of my competition is going to come out of the market. What I'm saying by that is a lot of used car dealers are going to go out of business. And when you have markets crash, when you have the stock market crash, when you have housing crash, there are a lot of people that get hurt, and I don't want that to happen. But at some point, there needs to be a flushing of all the speculation, of all the air, of all the leverage that's in the system to come out to make healthy markets. So, for example, like I said, in the stock market, when the stock market crashes, a lot of margin debt comes out of the stock market because people get over leveraged and they have to pay their margin debt. In the housing market, when we've seen the housing market crash, a lot of these speculative home builders, a lot of these contractors that were over leveraged, they had too much debt, they came out of the market. Now, what's going to happen now is if the used car market crashes, a lot of these dealers that are over leveraged with their floor plans, if you don't know what a floor plan is, go back, check a couple of my videos, but basically it's just a credit line that these used car dealers use to buy their cars. What happens is that they get overexposed, and they're overexposed right now, and the used car prices are coming down. So if used car prices do crash, and they crash fast, then a lot of these dealers are going to be underwater on a lot of the cars that they've already bought 3-6 months ago that they still can't sell, and they're going to have to come up with a difference plus the interest that they owe on these cars. So it's going to end up flushing the market if the used car market does crash, and a lot of the speculative dealers that got into it recently, a lot of the dealers that are over leveraged and biting off a little bit more than they can chew, they're going to get hurt the most. And we really need some kind of flush to bring some of that out. That's going to bring a lot of the used car prices down even further because it's going to take out a lot of competition at these auctions. So the third reason why I would like to see the market crash is because the quality of car that I've been buying in the last year and a half, the last year, has been way down than what I had been buying pre-pandemic. And the reason for this is because I sell to a customer that can only afford a certain car. They have to be able to buy a car that's $5,000 or under. And if you've been looking at used cars, especially under the $10,000 range, you know that the quality of these cars has come down significantly. If there's a good car out there, people are not selling it cheaply. So we need those people to be able to trade those cars back in and be able to get those at auction. We're not seeing a lot of this good quality car at auction right now and for a good price. So I am not able to get these great cars that I used to be able to get that I could sell to a customer for $3,500. Now what we're getting is if we get those really good cars, they're no longer $3,500 cars. They're $45,000, they're $5,000 cars. So as the prices come down, and this is another just argument for the prices, then I can be more picky with the cars that I am actually buying to sell to my customer. I can look for cleaner cars. I can look for cars that have probably been taken care of more because they're going to fall into my customer's price range. And when that happens, then I'll be able to give my customer an even better deal, because not only are they going to be getting a better price, they're also going to be getting just a better car in general. So if you made it to the end of this video, I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, you can blow me up in the comments all you want to, but I hope you understand what I'm saying about me as a car dealer and a lot of other car dealers that are in a similar situation as I am. We want prices to go down. We don't want prices to stay elevated. That seems ridiculous to me that people would even think that. I could see it on the higher end dealers. I can see it on new car dealers. But for us lower end used car dealers, we want the prices to come down. It's got to a point where it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous at auctions. We don't want to pay these prices for cars. There's too much risk in them. The quality is down. We need a reset to happen. But we're not seeing it yet. Not any kind of crash. I'm seeing prices go down lower. I was actually at auction. I did a video yesterday showing that I was able to actually buy 14 cars yesterday. I haven't been able to do that in a year. So we are seeing prices come down, and they're coming down enough where we're happy to buy them. But we still need a lot. There's not enough new car trade-ins. There's not enough repos out there. There's more repos out there, but we need more. So I don't want the economy to get really bad, but I do want something to change, because the used car market is just, it's in a weird place right now where demand's down and inventory's still down, and something has to break. But anyway, I was trying to close out the video and then I went off on another tangent. Please subscribe to the channel. I do stuff like this all the time. Like the video, leave a comment, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.